This story isn't just strange, it's almost unbelievable. A woman in Texas, just 28 years old, convicted of murder. But no body was ever found, no weapon ever surfaced, no witness ever came forward. Still, the jury said guilty. So what happened in that courtroom that made her smile while her family sobbed? It began in Amarillo mid-April, the kind of morning that feels off before the sun's even up. A neighbor noticed her car parked crooked, lights inside flickering, but no movement, no sound. And in that moment, the quiet felt heavy. Andrew Lane was the man who vanished. 32 years old, full of charm, successful in real estate. His life had taken a turn when he met Marcy Lowell, a woman with calm eyes and a voice people described as hypnotic. They met at an open house, one of those meet-cute moments. He was hooked. She was magnetic. But it didn't take long before Andrew pulled back. His calls became less frequent. He stopped sharing pictures. And then, silence. Marcy said she'd last seen him on Sunday. Said he was distracted, distant. But the neighbor saw something else. Garbage bags, heavy ones, dragged down the front steps. The driveway stained red the next morning. But hours later, clean, power washed. Like nothing happened. Police entered Andrew's apartment, wallet untouched, keys on the table. Wine glasses still out, but no Andrew. They searched Marcy's home next. It was spotless, too spotless, like it was cleaned for a showing, not lived in. Her browser history raised eyebrows. Searches like, can bleach erase DNA? How to disappear someone? Can they convict you without a body? When asked, she shrugged, just curiosity. Surveillance cameras told a different story. Marcy buying gloves, duct tape, a tarp, one day before Andrew vanished. Then came the receipt, her handwriting, dated, found stuffed between couch cushions. Still, no blood, no body. But police found one last thing, a voicemail, recovered from Andrew's deleted phone files. Static, garbled, but his voice came through. She doesn't know I'm recording this. Marcy had no criminal record. Preschool teacher by day, dog lover, charity runs, but her private diary cracked the mask. He said goodbye. He won't say it again. One entry, circled in red ink. Prosecutors used it as motive. Defense argued context. Then came her therapist, nervous, subpoenaed. She said Marcy once asked, "Can emotional erasure become physical?" The courtroom gasped. Marcy smiled. 3 days of jury deliberation. No body, no confession. Still, the verdict. Guilty. 25 years. Her mother collapsed. Her father shouted. And Marcy? She turned, winked, and smiled. The case flooded headlines. Podcast episodes broke it down frame by frame. TikTok exploded. And Marcy's smile became a meme. A symbol of eerie, calculated calm. But the story didn't end there. Just 1 week before Marcy's prison transfer, a trucker stopped at a roadside station. His boots caked in mud. He leaned toward the cashier and said, "Found something in the brush. Looked like skin." What did he find? Is Andrew about to be uncovered? Or is something even darker waiting beneath the surface? This wasn't supposed to be how the story ended. A shallow grave, a broken phone, and a name whispered in static. Marcy. It was just after sunrise when police arrived at Lake Meredith, led by a trucker who said he found something in the brush. Fabric, pale and torn, half buried, and next to it, a shattered phone, smeared with dirt and time. Its IMEI matched Andrew Lane. A voice memo survived, brief, fractured, but chilling. The only word audible, Marcy. Then came the dogs, trained to scent death. They didn't bark, they froze. Within minutes, a grave was found, wrapped in blue tarp and sealed with duct tape. The bones inside told a story of violence. Andrew hadn't just vanished, he'd fought for his life. His skull showed fractures. His wrists bore marks. But here's the twist. Autopsy placed his death 5 days after his disappearance, which means for nearly a week, someone had him, somewhere. They told Marcy. She didn't flinch, didn't speak, just smiled. A guard later said she whispered, "Guess they found him." Then silence. But the evidence kept coming. The tape used to bind Andrew wasn't just hardware store brand. It was military grade, traceable, rare. That led police to a warehouse outside Lubbock. Police? Jay Lowell, Marcy's brother. He'd been questioned early on, brushed aside. But now, he was front and center. Records showed 29 calls between Jay and Marcy the month Andrew vanished. Jay's truck was spotted near Andrew's apartment the night of his disappearance. Surveillance cameras caught headlights parked for hours. No movement. Then, gone. The detectives dug deeper. Marcy's diary revealed coded entries. One stood out. "Family means never doing it alone." Another, "He offered me silence. I gave him permanence." Cryptic, disturbing, and possibly more than metaphor. They brought Jay back in, calm, stone-faced, until they played Andrew's voice. "She doesn't know I'm recording this." Jay shifted, then asked for a lawyer. It didn't stop there. Jay's garage held secrets, a locked room, soundproofed. Inside, burned photographs, faces scratched out, a wall map covered in pins and threads, a single phrase etched into the wall: "Control is love." One photo matched a missing person case. Eva Collins. Vanished in 2019. Worked with Marcy. Dated Jay. Briefly. Secretly. No one made the connection until now. So maybe Andrew wasn't the first. Maybe Marcy's trial was just the tip of something far darker. They tried again with Marcy. She refused to speak but asked for paper, pens. Hours later, a guard found her writing, pages upon pages, all blank except one. The title, "Control is Love." Then came the biggest revelation. During the search of Jay's garage, they uncovered a hidden SD card, weathered, old, labeled July 13th confession. Forensic techs restored it. And when they pressed play, a shadow filled the frame. A voice began. "I didn't mean for it to go that far." And then, static. The screen froze. The rest? Still encrypted, still locked. They pressed play. A shadow flickered onto the screen. "I didn't mean for it to go that far," the voice said, low, ragged, like it had been forced out between sobs. Then, static, corrupted footage. But it was enough to trigger a storm. Because suddenly, this wasn't just Marcy and Andrew. Now, it involved her brother, a hidden confession, and maybe someone else. Police scrambled to recover the full video. Forensics worked around the clock. The file was encrypted, intentionally scrambled. Whoever hid it didn't just bury evidence. They wanted to erase a timeline, but piece by piece the audio was recovered. The full line? "I didn't mean for it to go that far. She said it would be quick." It was Jay's voice. This changed everything. If Marcy told him it would be quick, then that meant premeditation, manipulation. Marcy wasn't just involved, she was orchestrating it. And Jay? He'd cracked. Agents moved fast. They obtained another warrant, this time for Jay's storage unit in Canyon, Texas. What they found there shut down speculation and opened new wounds. Blueprints, soundproofing layouts, printed screenshots of missing persons reports, and tucked between boxes, an old recorder, labeled Eva. They played it. Her voice trembled through the speaker. "He says I'm safe here, but I don't think I'll ever leave." Then silence. The voice matched Eva Collins, the missing woman who worked with Marcy, dated Jay, vanished in 2019. Her case had gone cold. Until now. Forensics traced soil from the storage unit's flooring, a match to the brush where Andrew was buried. That location suddenly became a focus, not just for Andrew's death, but maybe Eva's disappearance too. A cadaver dog alerted on a second site, roughly 300 yards away, deeper, covered in branches. They started digging. But the deeper they went, the stranger things got. A buried box, metal, padlocked. Inside, hair clippings, a bracelet with Eva's initials, and a journal. On the front, "Hope is a lie." Inside were torn pages, incoherent ramblings. One entry stood out. "She said I'd be forgotten. That's what love means." There was no signature, but handwriting analysts said the scrawls matched Marcy's. Now the media exploded. The original trial, the one where Marcy was convicted for Andrew's murder without a body, was being questioned. The judge who gave that verdict stated publicly, "We had enough circumstantial evidence. Now it looks like we had only the beginning." Jay was officially charged as an accomplice, but he refused to speak, refused to eat. Then one night, after lights out, a guard reported hearing him cry, whispering something over and over. "She promised me." He's now under suicide watch. Meanwhile, Marcy has requested no visitors, but she's writing again. Guards say she asks for black ink only. No pencils, no blue, just black. They intercepted one letter she attempted to send. It wasn't addressed to family or legal counsel. It was addressed to Eva. Inside, "I kept you safe. The world wasn't ready for you. You needed silence." Investigators now believe Eva may have been alive longer than anyone thought, and maybe was kept somewhere hidden. One theory suggests Marcy may have used Jay to execute her plans, that Eva might have tried to escape, that Andrew knew more than he let on, that his final voice memo wasn't just a last act, it was a clue. Then came another breakthrough. In the footage recovered from Jay's SD card, past the static, past the corrupted frames, analysts pulled one still image. A hallway, Diamond-Soy's brick-lined, with symbols scratched into the walls, and a shadow at the end. Too tall to be Marcy, too broad to be Jay. And this? This changed the scope of the investigation. Was there someone else? A third person involved? They questioned neighbors near Jay's warehouse. One man remembered a figure who used to show up late at night, face covered, walking with a limp. He'd never spoken, just nodded. Loaded boxes, drove away in a truck with no license plates. No records matched the description, but now investigators think the warehouse may have housed more than one victim. The map found in Jay's garage? Those pins might not be metaphorical. They might be grave markers. Police are rechecking cold cases, looking for patterns, trying to link symbols etched in the hallway walls to known groups or beliefs. And then, Marcy slipped. During a routine check-in, she reportedly said, "They think the story ends at Andrew." She looked up, smiled, then added, "But Andrew was just the invitation." The officer asked what that meant. Marcy went quiet. Now, the FBI is involved. Because this isn't just a crime, it's potentially a network. And Marcy? She may not be the puppet, she may be the puppeteer. But the real twist came 3 nights ago. One of the burned photographs recovered from Jay's garage was digitally restored. And in the background, a woman standing near Eva, smiling. It wasn't Marcy, and it wasn't anyone in law enforcement's database. They ran facial recognition, got one partial match. But the name? Classified. One agent whispered, "This is deeper than we thought." And then the final page from Marcy's new journal was leaked. No names, just a poem. Voices vanish when no one listens. Truth dies when silence feeds it. And love is just another word for control. Then she signed it, not with her name, but a symbol. The same one etched on the hallway wall.